Hello, everybody. Welcome to part two of get my pathway on getting sub-4 on Skewb. So I average around 6 seconds on Skewb, and I have a part one on this. So if you haven't checked that out, you can also check that out. I'm working on learning Sarah's Advanced from a tutorial from this laptop, and I hope to show you guys my journey too. And so yeah, we'll get into it. So from last time, I've learned some new techniques like finger tricks to do sledges and stuff, which has been helping me. So I knew how to do a double sledge and obviously a polished sledge and a polished edge, but I've also learned how to do an R2 sledge, and so I can like do three sledges pretty fast. And I'm working on creating even more finger tricks. So one of these I've figured out. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be using this one. Is oh, oh this one for the zipper. So it goes something like this. So I use the zipper where it's like this, and then you do three sludges, and then you have to do this back. So it's like a setup move. But the better thing to do right here. So after a normal polish sledge. I do an R2 sledge, and then in the last one, uh, I do another polish sledge. But in the last move, I do an R2 like this, and with this thumb, I kind of flick it. So it should look something like this, but I mess up in the end. It's a little hard to do that. Like sometimes it can be really fast, and at that time it can come really naturally, honestly. But sometimes it just goes really hard, and so I've been working on that a little bit. And so we'll start off by some salts. So I'll generate some shambles over here. If you ever, I'll send the shambles in the chat if you guys want to follow. So if you're ever looking at what I'm doing or have any tips, uh, sh- feel free to share that in the chat. My goal by my next competition in 2 months is to be top around, I think, at least 3,000 the world. So okay, that's the first one. We do with the white, green, red in the front. So just a reminder for people who don't know how to scramble. So here, none of the sides look extremely good, I would say. But I think as far as I see right now, I think white's pretty good and yellow's pretty good. So we do this kind of half sledge here to put this in, and that removes this just to put that one in, and then do that. Now that's a pretty easy one. So you can do three sledges. So that's pretty good. So I'll just write our solution down. Okay, I'll generate the second scramble. I won't be doing this for every single scramble, but for a lot of them, I'll be listing it out and what I'm doing, especially if it's like a good one. So even like if I'm not generally putting the scrambles in the chat, but I think that scramble's good or the solution's good, I'll put that in. So for now, I'm trying again. The red side looks pretty good, but after we put this corner in, both of these are like down. So one, and then we do that. I'm gonna do that, and so that leaves you into this, which is a sledge into a white zebra. So solution is red side with a sledge into a white and a zebra. Okay. Uh, Another one Yeah, I think that's our travel. Again, off the bat, definitely we go with red. That's like three moves into an insert. And so after that, as far as I remember for this case, which is like everything is adjacent and your top is installed, I'll just do it normally with the sledge facing you. So just like that. And so uh Sarah's solution, red side with Sarah's intermediate alg uh, into U perm facing. Yeah. Okay. So I'm really doing this hoping for some tips later on so that you guys can help me out on what I'm doing wrong here or what could have been a better solution. So this one is also on not one, so I'll just type that in. Okay. So definitely I think green is pretty good. Uh but so I'll just look at others just to make sure. So yeah, I think green is really good. And I think really the best way is to insert that corner first and then remove that one. Then we look at this one. Again, this is like these two swap and these two swap. So for that one, I think I generally do a hedge right here. Wait, now. That's the thing. I don't remember all of my algs. So I'm just trying to remember what I do exactly. Okay. So I think I do a sledge into a triple sledge. So that's pretty cool, I guess. So that's what I do. And yeah. So I think I did green side. Hold on. Yeah, I did the green side into a sledge into a triple sledge solution and green side into sledge into a triple sledge with set. Okay, so that's our fourth one. From now on, this would be the last one I'm actually showing, and then you can just especially the solution. So this one U L R U prime B prime R L prime B prime U prime. So I'm looking at this and I think blue's pretty good. But just to check, I think just looking at it, no. Yeah, so blue's pretty good. So I think we insert it somewhat like this. And I think I saw a good video on how to do this one, but I forgot. So you just do it normally. So that's blue. Rotate to the back, and that's a slash into a U-perm. So solution, blue side with a sledge into a U perm. Okay, so now going to be trying to just like do this pretty quickly. So the next one, if you guys ever want these scrambles, you can like leave a comment in the chat, and I would love to share them with you. So I'm really not good at recognizing these cases. So, bro, what? So that was pretty bad. But really, our goal here is to recognize these cases fast and then do like the optimal solution. So 707, not that bad. Okay, so L U L prime U L D R L prime R. Hmm. Just trying to figure out. That was really poor execution. I recognized the case. It was a really good case because it was only two sledges. But I tried to like do this finger trick. I know I generally do it much better, but anyway. Oh, okay. That's pretty bad. Not even gonna enter that. Mhm. Okay. I don't. I haven't found a really good solution, honestly. But oh, that's a really good case. That's pretty controversial. But if I look at it, I see that light's just a little bit closer, so I won't count that as a +2. But anyways, you be you from you from me. Mm-hmm. Oh, you. Okay. Uh, so I see that after I this I'll just go into it to solve. That's wrong. I missed that one up bad. Honestly, that's the thing. It just takes me time to kind of recognize the case and be sure of it, because I don't want to get like a bad. Don't want to like do the wrong solution, but I also don't want to spend a lot of time like doing that, because obviously, so it takes like a lot of time to for recognizing the case. Okay, so that's still really bad. Uh-oh. Mine went in. If you got I messed up. But if you guys ever want some want to know what finger tricks I do, I can tell those, share like those with you, so that if you want, you can also start using them. I think I'm mostly done with Sarah's Advanced though. I think uh because it's more of like memorizing the cases now than just like trying to learn every case. because I think I know every case pretty well. Hmm. That's pretty bad. So, uh, if you're looking to buy a Skewb, I would definitely say the GAN Skewb is pretty good. So that's just like what I would say from my perspective. So, but that's all up to you, obviously, because you know. But like by far, out of a lot of Skewbs I've tried, this one is really really good, and yeah, I just like it a lot. Mm, that's poor execution. So as far as I like after some R&D on how to be sub 4 on Skewb, I found out that a really good way to be sub 4 is to start increasing your turns per second, which right now is pretty poor because obviously like you need to make one side and do like around 3 sledges at least, like on an approximate basis to at least get like to like solve it on Harris Advanced, and that would be and you have to do all of that in 4 seconds. So make a side, predict your case. I mean, sorry, recognize your case, and then also do like 3 sledges. And right now, if I just like rotate, so I try to do sledge, sledge, sledge. That ends up pretty bad. But oh, okay, so a hedge, and a hedge. So sledge, sledge, sledge. Good luck. Yeah, okay. So these two swap and these two swap, and you go here, and a hedge, and a hedge, and a last hedge. So again, that's about 1.601. But if I like rotate, if I do hedges, that's 3.385. So I really need to work on my hedges. Like sledges are pretty fast, but hedges are pretty slow. So that's pretty good. Mm. Uh, I'm also working on trying to do 3 sledges with my new fingertips really fast. So that's 1.481. That's pretty good. I messed up. But still, you can see how it takes time, especially if you mess up even a little bit. It's like 2.2 seconds. That's about half of your solve. And the rest of the time goes into doing your side and recognizing your case. So that's pretty, like you have to bump up your speed a lot. But yeah, so that was 2 1.5s in a row. I jinxed it. Okay. Yeah. I think my grip still isn't that stable yet. That's like one thing because it feels wobbly, and I think that's also because it's really light, so it feels like really wobbly. And I think Skewbs are actually pretty better off being a little heavier as compared to really really light. Because Skewb, I mean honestly, Skewb is really flimsy. Like every single part you touch is a moving part. Uh, like if you take like a 3x3, like these edges don't really move like this, and especially the centers. But here, even your centers will move. So that's one thing. So I think like doing that would be really helpful. But so I'll try to do six sledges. Uh-oh. I almost did like stop the timer. But maybe try to do two sledges. That's 1.052. So our if I surprisingly, even though like doing two sledges and then regrip like the two sledges finger trick and then regripping and then doing the first sledge is actually worse. My time on that is pretty equivalent, if not better. So that just means I'm not that fast right now with these R2 sledges. So I really need to build them a lot. So really, if I look at it smoothly, I think just keeping on like doing sledges. I'll just do like 100 sledges right now. So that's six. That's 12. That's 18. Uh, that's 24. And I think I also have a video of me doing 100 sledges. So that's 36. That's 42. That's 48. That's 54. So you're halfway there. Kind of hurts my hand. That's 60. That's 66. That's 72. Uh-oh. Yeah, I think that's just like because of my bad grip on this. 84. That's a 90. That's a 96. So that's 100. I think that took pretty long, and I think that's not optimal. But I think that would have improved my speed of. It obviously kind of aches, but like, okay, so I see the problem here. It's like after this one, sometimes it's just like this, and then that's messy. So yeah, that's 1.4. That's pretty good. No, 1.2. That's really good. Yeah, I think that helped a lot. 1.5. 1.3. That's almost close to my two sledges. Wait, what? Oh, wait, that wasn't. If I try to do two sledges, no, I messed up. Okay, that's 1.277. If I try, oh, that's the thing. I think my fingertips aren't still like that fast. So this one again took me a lot of time. Yeah, this one isn't good yet. I think most of this part would be of learning. I mean, working on my finger tricks and overall TPS. And generally, I would say learning Sarah's Advanced is pretty good from this from Dombert, and you can also try to learn it from this YouTuber some something called Clips or something. So if I look at it, his name is parody per second. But the bad thing about that thing is like He said part one, but he never released part two. I think he didn't upload anything after that, so that's like his last video. But part one's pretty good. Part two, he hasn't released yet, so that's like the only bad thing. Which like he doesn't teach you full. Oh, like Sarah's Advanced. Yeah, that was really fast.
And for this case, the intermediate is just a hedge, and it will once again leave you
So
with
that's the Dom Edge
for the
tutorial.
whether the U center is in
And
the front or in the back, the rotation.
so I'm working on doing that one. So let's look at this horizontal. I'm done with this one. Peanut plus swirl. Let's try that one. I don't think I know that one.
Okay, moving on to the peanut plus swirl perms. I'm only going to show two examples for these because they're super easy. So for this, I'm going to leave a U perm.
Oh yeah, I think I know this.
Just like normal for intermediate.
Yeah.
U perm. Okay, now we're moving on to the peanut plus watt perms.
I don't know that.
They're almost just as easy as the swirl perms, except for these cases, you have to put the opposite in the back of your intermediate. So you put this opposite in the back.
Oh yeah,
you're going to do your intermediate out. So this is going to be a sledge and then a hedge. And that's also going to leave a U-perm. So something about these cases is that your opposite center for the U-perm is always going to end up in the front. So it makes tracking the U-perm a lot easier. So for this case, you put the opposite center in the back. And then this is going to be a sledge intermediate. And then the opposite is in the front. Just like that.
Yeah, that's how I do this one. So I just didn't know the name for these. So vertical U-perm, I know that one. I don't know what the O-perm is though. So I'll try to learn that one, but I think that's what the thing is. I've done with a lot of this.
And there's one where the U center is on the left to right. So if the U center is on the front or the back, what you want to do is hold an adjacent center in front. So like you're going to hold this center in front, and then you're going to solve the corners. So you're going to do a hedge to solve the corners, and then this will just leave a vertical U.
So that's the case he was talking about. So that's I know this one. So that's like this kind of swirl. I called it a swirl before. So like how these two kind of. So we have about 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 left. I know the sixth one. So we'll try to learn that. So hold up. I don't think I know.
And that's gonna solve the
yeah, I think it is. Okay.
two opposite.
So the experiment
cases, which is a pie with two opposite centers.
And
once again, there's two types. There's a U center in the front and the back, and there's a U center on the left and the right. So once again, we're gonna do the front and the back first. So what you want to do is put the adjacent center in the front. So not the opposite center, not the U center, the adjacent center in the front, and then you're going to solve the corners. So in this case, you're going to do a sledge to solve the corners, and then this is going to leave you with a triple sledge to solve the corners.
oh, so what he does in this case? So okay, and okay. So for this case, what I was expecting him to do was a double sledge, and that leaves you with like a double sledge with like this another set. But what he does is much simpler, and that's like a sledge into a triple sledge, which is much faster because you don't have to rotate. So that's pretty good.
This is going to lead course, and then here you put, which you can just solve the three sledges, of course. And then here you put the adjacent center in front, and here we're going to do a hedge to solve the corners. And for these cases, you're always going to rotate away from where the U center is for the triple sledge. Because after you do the hedge, the U center is going to end up over here. So we're going to do the hedge and then rotate over here. And then we just have our triple sledge.
Okay, so for all of these cases, yeah, I think so. For these, like the one that's one sledge away, you just do a sledge. Yeah. Part was swirl perm. Let's see this.
No opposites, and once again, there's the two types. There's the one where U centers in the front and back, and there's the left and the right. So start with the front and the back, of course. And so what you're going to do is you're going to look at the center on the top, and you're going to want to solve this center and the corners at the same time. So this center is orange, so you're going to go to the orange side, and then the way to
Hmm.
solve the corners here is with a sledge. So you're going to do a sledge, and it's going to solve this center and the corners, and then it's going to leave you with a z-perm conjugate, which you can solve with a setup move, the triple sledge. And one
Okay,
thing about these
so
with the setup with the
I'm
sledge,
just
you want
trying
to go
to
to the orange ball.
see.
So what you're right is again, there's the two types. There's the one high plus swirl perms where there's no opposites, and once again,
Okay,
there's the two types. There's the one where
so the one with triple sledge. No, not that one. I'll do that one again. Okay, yeah, this one. So, no, that's not the one. Guessing this. So there's no opposites. So you do this. You move away from the U one, and then that leaves you with this. And that's pretty easy. So, for
the green center, the green center needs to go here, and then we're gonna immediately rotate to the other side for our z-perm conjugate on the left or the right. We're just going to put the U center and then we're going to get a z-perm, and we're just going to do the z-perm. And then same intermediate to do the swap. So what you want to know
really a good tip, I would say, like a really quick way to learn SARS, a lot of like SARS advanced cases, and this really gets out confusion. So I would really recommend doing this. So first of all, know what the sledge does. So sledge has these two. Oh wait, that's my bad. The side center swap and the front and the top ones are swapped, and then it also orients like the headlight. Now you should also, so really anytime you get this case with like a headlights and these two attached, that's what you should do, except for this case. And the easiest way to recognize this case is if both of the sides are solved on the side. And so you always know you rotate to the back. And if I was going to do a sledge here, I do a sledge here too. Or an easier way to remember that is if I look at the headlights, a hedge would solve on all the corners, and you don't want to do that. So you do the other alk, you rotate to the back, and you get the normal one where like the two on the sides are swapping, and the front and the top are swapping. So that's one sledge away. This is basically what we call the cancel into the edge berm. So this is the edge berm, and one way you can do it is a sledge, a hedge in the back, and then another sledge. So rather than a sledge, like so one in the last leg, this would leave you with a zebra, with the edge berm, which you again have to rotate for, and then you'll just do the same thing. So that's like canceling four moves, and then you kind of go into that. So that's pretty good. And always know the one you did here on the back is never the same. You only, like that's the opposite. So if you did a sledge here, you do a hedge on the front. If you did a hedge, you do a sledge in the front. And for the other cases, really just it's just like a normal SARS intermediate, even for all the ones that leave with like an H berm. Because realistically, I mean the Z berm, because realistically, honestly, that's like pretty good. Because it's better than having to rotate and do sledges, because you can do all your sledges in just one side. So that's pretty good. And so let's look at pi plus swirl worm.
is hold the U center in the front and plus triple sledge. All right, so now we're moving on to the peanut plus triple sledge. So there's a solve center in the back, and then
Oh,
two
this one I
opposites
think
and
I
a z
know.
swap.
So for all of these,
So
you
what do you
do
want?
like the opposite one. So hold on, I'll just show you what I'm talking about. So yeah, so this case, you just do like if this is the right one, you do a hedge. Wait, no. So if that's the right one, you do a sledge. Then you can rotate, and that's like a pure pipe, which is just two sledges. And the good thing about this one is that it's just three, and it only has one rotation. Like the other two are just from one side, which is much faster than say having to do sledge, rotate, and sledge. So that's like the good thing about this, and that these I know. So really, we have I think peanut plus operm, and then pi plus watt perm, and then alpha c last five centers. I have learned that one. So
And it's the same.
uh,
And so what you're gonna do
I
is
think this
hold
is
the
like the only
adjacent
one.
center in front,
So a
and it's the same
hedge,
corner
a
recognition as the
sledge,
peanut
and
plus
a
x-ray,
hedge,
where
a
if you're next to the left
sledge.
corner, you're doing a hedge, and if you're next to the right corner, you're doing a sledge. So here, we're next to the left corner, so we're gonna do a hedge, and then this is gonna leave you with an 8 skip, so you can just do sledge hedge.
Ew.
So here, we're next to the left corner, doing a head corner rec. And so what you're gonna do is hold the adjacent center in front, and it's the same corner recognition as the peanut plus expert, where if you're next to the left corner, you're doing a hedge, and if you're next to the right corner, you're doing a sledge. So here, we're next to.
So for this case, uh, I'll just set it up real quick. So when these three centers are like swapping, kind of like in a swirl pattern, that's why I used to call it a swirl, but I later realized that's not what the swirl is. Anyway, so if you have that with like uh, a diagonal, like corners with not headlights but diagonal one, you go to the side without this. So like the without like your top center, so that's this side. And if this is the right corner, you do a hedge, and that leaves you with a pretty good case. So guys, I'll be ending it for today, and thank you for watching the stream. Bye. Hama.